Welcome back to the Doug and Commish Show. This is our question and answer segment, perhaps our most popular segment that we have in our Doug and Commish Show. And we're going to start off with a question that came into us via Twitter, or I'm sorry, not via Twitter. This one actually got emailed to us. And the question was from a fan of New Guy. And it said, Vic had a huge game last year at Washington. Could he do it again against Washington, or did they learn their lesson? Now, while you're thinking about that, I remember this game vividly. I actually met New Guy at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Before he was New Guy.
Before he was New Guy. We met at Buffalo Wild Wings to watch it. I was 5 minutes late, and I needed Michael Vick to not score 25, and he almost got all of that on the 99-yard play. I walked in and said to New Guy, "What happened?" And he said, "You don't have to stay if you don't want to." And I obliged, and we had some fun, but nonetheless humiliating. Do you think he can do it again?
No, I don't. I think that most of the league is picking up on a lot of the Morningweg offense, where he loves to go deep at the beginning of the game. I don't think that he can do that again. I think he'll have a good game, but I don't see another, 30-something point game that he had.
Ridiculous.
Maybe even low 40s, if I remember correctly. I don't see that happening. I see maybe just like last week.
Yeah. Also, another question that came up.
I love New Guy fans.
Yeah. Another question that came up through our emails was from a fan of Nips and said, "Why are we still disrespected? We've won a championship, and we lead the league in points. We're Harry. Why in the world are we not getting any props?"
I think it has to do with the old school New Guy snub.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He came in as a New Guy. He got an F for his draft grade. Mm-hmm. The whole GFO mocked him and laughed at him. And what happened?
He ends up winning.
He wins the championship. I think that there is hatred, actually a deep-rooted hatred for Nipples.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, every time that the Nipples won a game, what did the rest of the GFO get?
We all got a hairy nipple.
A picture of a giant hairy nipple.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
No.
I think that there is a massive hatred towards the Nipple franchise for the way that they conduct themselves. Remember the parades? They went on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why people don't talk about him, because they hate him.
Yeah. Our next question comes via Twitter, and it's called Mocha from Mocha09.
Oh.
What do you how do you feel about the Beans' latest pickup with Tim Tebow? Now, we know that you're not a big Tebow lover. We know that you don't really like him that much. But as far as the Beans franchise, how do you think that this is going to go for him?
Well, I mean, he's a player in the NFL, and he'll play quarterback. He's going to make a lot of stupid, bad, errant throws. Mm-hmm. Where he does this one play where he actually jumps in the air while he throws.
Okay.
Like he's shooting a 3-pointer, but yet it's really a slant.
Mm-hmm.
So look for that to not work.
Okay.
But having said that, he's a gamer of some sort, and he could get some points, maybe 15, 16, 17 points with his runs, maybe a couple of touchdowns on the ground from a broken play of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tough kid. I wouldn't have picked him up, but he's a good fill-in, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Next question. This comes from just a regular person that is a fantasy football fan. They say, I need you to pick two. I have Ernest Graham, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and James Starks. Pick two.
Oh, man. I would have to see the Packers and what they're doing with Ryan Grant.
Okay.
Because he would be my Starks. I would like to start him. I think he's a good back. But if they're going to throw Ryan Grant into the mix still, then I would go with your other two, and Green Ellis and Graham.
There's no way that Green Ellis repeats what he did last week.
Absolutely not. They did that to prove a point to the Jets that they're tough.
Yeah.
That's not happening again. But having said that, I mean, he's going to get carries, and he's going to get goal line carries, so that's what I would do.
No, Garrett Blunt looks like he's going to be out, so
Ernest
Graham.
Yeah, he's going to be out a couple weeks.
So Ernest Graham pick for, so who would you go with?
I'd go with the first two.
Okay, Graham and
Ellis.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
And I like his name.
All right. Next one Comes from a fan of the Knoll, and the question is, why do we suck? We have a team that's lost 4 in a row. We've had 2 teams that have lost 2 in a row, and our only win last week came from a guy who just learned how to play fantasy football this year.
Yes. Number one, I would question, why are you a fan of the Knoll?
Mm-hmm.
That would be my first question. There's the Schuler division has won twice as many games as your division has.
Mm-hmm.
I would look to maybe bandwagon and jump on somebody else's division, so you're not depressed every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they stink. Some of it is poor game management, which I believe there's a question coming about.
Yes, we do actually have one in the pile.
There's some, maybe some bad trades, maybe some bad luck, maybe something's not right where you go 1-9 out of your last 10 as a group.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's not good.
Our next one comes from our Twitter. I believe it's.
I think I got this one.
Yep.
It is from at Harry and the Hendersons fan.
Okay.
That's nice. It says, why is the Gaint Sass so much more involved in the league chat all of a sudden? Man, maybe you can throw some insight into that, because I don't know what's going on with Gaint. I've never had Gaint.
I mean, it seems to me that with him having 3-2, record, winning 3 in a row, that probably has a lot to do with it. And he likes to participate when things are going well. It's kind of the classic brat syndrome. When you get your way, you're cooperative.
He is a brat.
When you don't, you're not cooperative. And that's what I think it really comes down to, the brat syndrome.
So that would go down as a possibility to why the Knoll isn't participating either, because they blow.
Yes, that could be part of it. Yep, we've got a couple guys. They both have the oldest players, some of the oldest players in the GFO. So one's in bed by 8, and the other one, he's doing math problems, and the other 2, not really sure about the other 2.
I don't know what's going on either, but that's a good analysis of Gaint.
Yeah. Next, this is a huge question here, and this is coming from a lot of different people, so we can't really pinpoint this to one.
Right. Lots of people.
Why did DJ drop the defense, the 49ers defense, to pick up the Eagles defense?
Okay, viewers, please understand, you all know how I feel about the inadequacies of DJ being a GM in the GFL. Okay, it's been established over a 7-year period. I don't think he's good. Okay? Having said that, it's difficult for me to explain this without it looking like I really don't like him as an individual. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I love DJ as an individual. As a GM, I don't know anybody worse.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons. This is just one of the reasons why he can score lots of points and still be 1-4. This is one of the many, many reasons why his team is always the laughingstock of anything it does.
Yeah.
You can't drop a defense that's the number 2 ranked defense, averaging 12.5 points a game, for an Eagles defense with no linebackers that's averaging 4 points.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, Dougie.
To make things worse, if you look at the rest of the schedules, the rest of the way, for the 49ers, it's filled with people who like to give them the ball.
Yeah, they've got Seattle, they've got Arizona twice,
St. Louis.
They got St. Louis.
Got even Pittsburgh.
They got teams that they can't wait to turn the ball over. Plus, they got a legitimate return game. And again, he won the Dolphins game for him with a kick return and a punt return. It is just beyond the capability of common sense, even past common sense, why you would do that when he's got 3 fourth-string running backs on his roster. What was that one that we were laughing about? Delonte West or some crap?
The guy from the
Cowboys. Fifth stringer. Yeah. Drop that guy. He's not playing this year, next year, or the year after. Carry 2 defenses.
Yeah.
You drafted 6 of them. Come on.
All right. Well,
Chris Carter was here. He'd be giving you a come on, man.
The next one is, and our final one, we'll have to make this kind of quick. White Trash is wondering, why are we panicking by trying to trade all of our wide receivers?
It's tough being a fan of the Trash. I mean, the White Trash. Ever since, 2007, where they were in the championship game and lost to the Doughboy, they've had some issues with staying competitive.
Mm.
And I think that the white trash wants to win so bad, he's, pulling strings that don't need to be pulled quite yet.
Yeah. Well, that said, our last question just comes from Go Blue. And they're just wondering what your prediction is on the score this weekend, Michigan State and Michigan in East Lansing.
I think it's going to be more of a low-scoring affair than what people are giving it, credit for. I think Michigan State's defense is really good, and they beat the crap out of Shoeless, whatever, last year. I'm saying State by 12.
State by 12?
Yeah, I think it's going to be something around the 26, 14-ish, upper 20s, mid-teens, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't think Michigan can stop the run, and I think that Michigan State can stop Michigan.
All right, you heard it here first, MSU by 12.
I hate that, but I think that's accurate.
All right, we'll be right back with our previews for Week 6.